This app did not exist this morning. Let me show you. So by end of this video, you will watch me build it, and I will build it using only one thing: the bad reviews people left on a popular app. Okay, cool. Stay with me. You will not believe how fast this is now. Open any popular app on your phone. Now read the 1-star reviews. You will see the same thing again and again. People asking for something the app does not give them. Most people ignore this, but this is gold. These reviews tell you exactly what to build next. So today, I will take one of the most popular apps in the world. I'll read what people hate about it, and I'll turn those complaints into a brand new app built in front of you using AI. You do not need to be a coder, you do not need a team. You just need the reviews, a simple plan, and a tool called Claude. Now I know how this sounds. Build $1 million app in one video? Sounds fake, right? So let me be honest with you. A few years ago, building an app like this took a team of people many months. Today, AI can do it in a few hours. I'm not exaggerating. This is real now, and this is exactly why I can show you the full build in one video. But here is the important part. Building the app is not the hard part anymore. The hard part is knowing what to build. So today you get both. You will watch me build a real working app, from reviews to a finished app on a phone, and you will learn the simple steps so you can do it yourself with any app you want. Here is how it works. 6 simple steps. Watch out for step 4. This is where most people make a mistake and build the wrong thing, and stay till the end. In step 5, you will see the finished app working on a real phone. Step 1, pick a very popular app. Most people think a good app idea comes from nowhere like magic. It doesn't. You find it by looking carefully. So I did something that sounds strange. I picked one of the most downloaded apps in the world. A really big one, hundreds of millions of people using it. Why pick such a big app? Because a big app has a lot of users, and a lot of users means a lot of people telling you what is wrong with it. So I get a long list of problems to fix for free. So pick a topic you know well: fitness, money, productivity, anything. Then find the most popular app for that topic. For this, you can go and search in Google top mobile apps, where you can see different sites listing these top apps. Let's take this one, the top apps, App Magic. So this lists all the apps which have most downloads, where you can even categorize by geography or the tags, where you can see action, kids, strategy related apps. After these searches, I chose a productivity app that is focused to do Pomodoro and tasks. So this is the app I chosen to rebuild today. One quick thing, I'm only studying this app, I'm not copying it. We'll build something new and better with our own design and our own name. Looking at an app to learn from it is fine. Copying it is not. We are learning, not copying. Step 2 is all about reading the reviews and finding the problems. This is the most important step. Here I do 2 things. First, I take screenshot of the app, the main screen, the screen where you add things, the stats page. This helps me understand how it works and where it feels hard to use. So let me come over here and let me take the screenshot. Okay, so I just opened, I'm just taking the screenshot one by one, and what I did, I opened Claude. You can see the Claude interface. I'll just copy the screenshot over here. Okay, so let me come back. I'll take each page screenshot and paste over here. Let me do that quickly. So let me take the entire screenshot of this, including the about page, and then paste over here as a screenshot. Yeah. Okay, so we have it. And then the second part of this step, that's all about reviews, right? So let's go and expand the reviews and just sort it by rating. And let's go to 1-star rating. All right, so we have the 1-star rating over here. Let me start taking the screenshot, and this is the gold piece of this $1 million app idea, because you can see here people have a lot of complaints about the app, repeated problems. See here, custom timer Pomodoro is a premium feature. I don't know why every basic feature is locked. A lot of issues they report. So let's start taking screenshot of this and send it as screenshot to Claude. Let me take other reviews as well. The app required a force update which is failing, and then you can see I paid for premium features, not recognizing payment. Then it's not syncing with the premium option, keeps lagging, exhausting. So let's take the screenshot of these pain points quickly. So I'm just taking these points. Now it's time for prompt engineering. Yeah, so let's come to the Claude and put the prompt. Check out this prompt. I want you to reverse engineer this app and find me who is the ideal client, who is their number one pain point, and what is the gap in the market that this app does not have, and how would I add AI in this app to make it better and add more value. I want to take market share from this app and add more value by focusing on a core ICP. So this is a prompt I'm just feeding in Claude, and let's see what it gives. You can see that it's analyzing the app features and identifying competitive AI opportunities, identifying AI gaps in static timer task category. So it has gone through all the 13 screenshots carefully, the marketing slides, Play Store listing, and especially the 1-star reviews, right? Which are worth the real gold is. See, it itself says that it's a real gold. Let me ground the competitive picture with a few current fact. Yeah. So good. I have the pricing and the broad Pomodoro landscape. Now let me check what's already happening on the AI side, so I don't point you at white space. That's what it's replying. Okay. Alright, so we got the details. So what focus to do actually is strip away the polish, and it's three things bolted together: a Pomodoro timer, manual to-do list, and descriptive reporting dashboard. And we got the ideal client. Who is the ideal client? Their pain point, number one pain point. The actual unserved pain is a gap between intention and execution. That's what we wanted, right? And then we have the details about the gap in the market. Alright, so how to add AI section as well. We have all these details. It's all about reverse engineering, and we got the recommendation on the core ICP with option A and option B, where we can focus on serious solo operators or competitive exam students, and we have everything to go to market, right? Okay, now we have those reverse engineering done and we have all the details. So let's go and try the next prompt. So it's all about build a complete prompt that we can feed into Claude Code to actually develop this app, and I just go with iOS app. Yeah, so that's what I recommend, or you can go with Android or any app. So let's go in and get the complete prompt, and then we'll go to Claude Code. So let me pause this. So you can see over here. Okay, cool. So we got the prompt. Your Claude Code, build a native iOS app from scratch. Or working name, we should give the app name, and the focus ICP, then non-negotiable principles, and then the stack about the widgets, then the notifications, white noise architecture, and then the core features. That's very important. And the AI features that we have requested after doing the reverse engineering, we got it. And then we have the monetization part, onboarding. And now let's move to step 3, Claude Code part. So for Claude Code, you can just copy this prompt and come to the code within the desktop app. This is the Claude Code within desktop app. But what I prefer is using anti-gravity. Here in anti-gravity, I just enabled the Claude Code extension and we have everything ready. Before you start building the app, this is very important. You must use the feature of plan mode. So to enable the plan mode, you can come over here and just change here to plan mode. Once you come over here, just paste the prompt that you fetched from the Claude. And now let's go to the plan mode and see what Claude Code is preparing for us in plan mode. See, it start asking question, which app name do you want to go with? Cadence, Tempo, Anchor, Deepset. Okay, let me just give a different name. M-Square Prod Tracker. Yeah, this is a name I prefer. Which ICP should drive copy, defaults, and onboarding? See, if you go and build an app, it does not have that purpose, or it will not fulfill your purpose or need or the market share, right? It will not attract those people. So now it targets the real ICP. So I'll go with solo operators and then let it work. See, got it. M-Score Pro Tracker targeting solo operators. What bundle ID should we use for the app? So there is a bundle ID. So I'll go with one of the bundle ID. Okay, so it's checking the working directory and building the full plan. Great, so Claude's plan is ready and we call this file as plan.md. Okay, so it has the title M-Score Pro Tracker iOS app. So it gives you the context, confirm details, blocker. So it tells what we need to install in this system, in this machine to compile the app, and the directory structure you can see. Let's go in detail. We have engine responsibilities, live activity, activity kit, all prompt contracts, backend proxy, implementation order. So this is the order how they start the implementation, like phase 1, phase 2. Phase 1 is for the skeleton, phase 2 is for the core timer plus data, phase 3 is for live activity, and phase 4 is a full CRUD, task plus projects. Phase 5, it's all about history, stats, widgets. And then in phase 9 we are adding the AI features. Okay, let's come back. This is step 4 I told you to watch for. Accept this plan, yes and auto accept, yes and manually approve edits, or no, keep planning. Most people, as soon as they have a plan, shout build it. They let the AI run for a long time, then they do not like the result and they have to start over. Do not do this. Here is a smarter way. First, build only the look of the app as a simple web page, just the design, no real features yet. Think of it like a drawing you can click. It is fast, it is cheap, and you can see the app before you build the real one. So I'm just passing this prompt to build only the look of the app as a design and no real features. So let's see what happens. So it's honking. So the user wants to build only the visual design look of the app first, no real features, right? Got it, design only pass first. All right, so it's thinking. Okay, cool. So the design HTML is ready and it is asking a command to open. Let's try opening it. So you can see here, this is a design. Your work should compound or blur. So get started. What kind of work you do? Freelancer, consultant. Okay, so see the app. It looks cool, right? So let me zoom in. This is nice. And now I became a designer, right? So we have this UI UX experience. See, we have the settings. Okay, all good, yeah. So different options are the. This helps to understand how the app looks and is it really looking matching with our idea that is in our mind before we build it. We can have the UI UX designer mind and give some edits as well. So let me say, go and say, hey, I need orange shade as a color. So now what happened from a design perspective, we can give these kind of feedbacks or buttons as big, small, or we can talk about user convenience and get a new design HTML ready. So that's the best part. So go ahead and use this method. Step 4, very important before you build the app. Let's do this. Let me go and replace the blue send with orange in CSS variables. So now I need to update all the blue color reference. That's what the output says. And now let me click on yes. And you can see these questions keep coming because we are in the option edit automatically. If I go and let me click yes again. If I go and click on bypass permission, that's one of the dangerous option. So if you go and click on bypass permission without any questions, it will go and execute all those bash commands. So you have that orange shade now. See how cool it is. See, we have the app with a different shade and now it looks cool and better for me and I can give all those suggestions, right? So this is how you improve the UI UX features. Now let's go and start building the app. So I'll just pass this prompt. And what happens, since we have selected the option bypass permission, it will start executing all the necessary commands to build our app. And in case if it needs any installation of any packages or software, it will tell you go and execute these steps or follow these steps and install the packages if necessary from Mac store, Apple store, and then get the installation completed. So let's see what it says. So it's checking for Swift playgrounds if it is installed. So there are two ways to compile apps in iOS. So one is using Xcode or going with Swift playground. So there are two methods. It's checking whether Swift playground is installed or not. Let's see. So you can see the good news is it can create all the Swift files right now without needing any tool installed. All right, so let's see what happened. And I would recommend to go for Android app in case you are using Android phone. So it all depends on the flexibility or what you prefer. And in real case for a production environment, go for both build, right? iOS and the Android separately. You can see the to-dos over here. So it created the Swift Playground project structure and it wrote the design system. Now it's writing the mock data model. So there are almost 6 to-dos to be completed. Out of that, 2 are already done. And let's see how it proceeds. Just check this. So the .swift PM package is there available in Finder. So if I go to the Finder, I can see this. So there is a package and there is a component, design, model, navigation, all the files are there. All right, so let's come back. So it says the app is fully built. Here is what was created. So to run it, we have to install the Swift Playground from the Mac App Store. Double click on your desktop, it opens directly. Hit run on iPhone simulator on your real device. So let's do that. Now it's time to gear up. So let's go to App Store, right? So in the App Store, search for Swift Playground. So here you can see Swift Playground and it's 4.7 version, which includes Swift 6 and the Mac OS 26 SDK. Just install this, and once installed, you can just go to your compiled app, .swift PM, right click and open with Swift Playground. And you can see, are you sure you want to open this app? Be sure you trust the source. Open, and it will load the code, and click on plus. You can see the app preview is getting loaded from the entire compile code. All right, so you can see this is the app. Your work should compound, not blur. See the same HTML which we have made with the plan mode, right? So we prepared this HTML and asked to build it. Same HTML you can see over here, and this is with functionality. At that time you saw the pure HTML without the backend and the features. Now you have this app ready in Swift Playground. You can click on get started. And what kind of work do you do? So I'll just zoom in. Let me see if I can zoom in out. Okay, all right. So let me click continue. Start my first focus session. See, everything is there. See, you can see the functionality, whatever we explore, right? So let me come back. Let me go to the projects, stats, settings. See, cool, right? So we have the app ready, and let me tell you the next steps what you need to do. It's simple. Now you need to sign up for the Apple's developer program, which costs around $99 per year. Once done, you can input your Apple's bundle ID for this app, so which we prepared during the plan mode. So you remember those questions in the plan mode, all right? So just input the bundle ID and then come to this app, Swift Playground, and click on the button in the settings to export to App Store, and your app is gone for review. Cool, right? Now let me be honest with you, because that is how I want to do this. Is this app ready to make $1 million today? No. It is a strong first version, a good start. To really launch it, you would still need to test it well, fit small things and put it on the App Store. But look at how far we came and how fast. The work that used to take a team many months, we did the main part in one sitting. The rare and vulnerable thing today is not the code, it is the process. Find a popular app people complain about, read the complaints, turn them into a plan, design it before you build it, then build it, do this 10 times. One of them could be something big. So what should you do next? If you want to try this yourself, the exact prompts I used, my plan template, and a group of people building apps and automation with AI, it is all in my AI community, Master AI Automation. The link is in the description. Come and build your first app with us. And if you're a business owner and you do not want to build it yourself, you just want someone to automate the boring parts of your business, that is exactly what my team does at M-Score Automation. Go take a look. And tell me in the comments, which app do you think we should rebuild next? I might do it in the next video. See you in the next one.